Okay now. So you ready for the night? Yeah. The flashing lights. Yeah. You gonna lose your mind. Yeah. Well, I already lost mine. Woo. So you ready for the night? Yeah. And don't it feel nice? Yeah. To lose your mind? Get ready for the wildlife.
Welcome to the wildlife. Woo woo. Alright guys. Week 6, the Costa Fantasy Football League. It's tough here. 7 teams with above 500 records. We'll see if those teams on the bottom half can still draw into the race. But these 7 teams are really looking to battle it out for these final weeks and pull away to see who can be champion. Let's get right into Week 6 analysis here with Dollar Bill. First game of the week, Walt versus Jordan. Good matchup. Walt 1-4, Jordan 3-2. For Walt, I think AJ Green's going to be a solid play against Buffalo. I think Andy Dalton really likes him and relies on him. He's going to be a good play. Ruben Randall, question mark there. Can he get healthy with that hamstring by Monday against the Eagles? It's a good matchup for him. Eagles secondary not too good. But it seems like he's struggling with that hamstring to get healthy. So that will remain to be seen what happens there. Amir Abdul was benched last week, so relying on him can be a big question mark. I think Theo Riddick starting to be the passing running back in that offense. I forget who the new guy's name is. I think it's Keller. He's starting to steal carries, so Amir Abdul, we got to see where he goes from this point forward. Shane Vereen, I like Shane Vereen to pick on the Eagles linebacking core. You don't cover running backs well in the passing game. I think Shane Vereen's a good play here. I think Drew Brees will be the secret key to this one for Walt. Playing tonight against an Atlanta D that I'm not really impressed by. So see what he can do. If he has a big game, Walt could be in this one. On Jordan's side of the ball, Tom Brady, he's a no-brainer. He's a stud. Going against the Colts D, it's not really good. He'll be a big game. Antonio Brown, I think he's still got another week with Mike Vick. He doesn't get targets. It doesn't look like they can really get him the ball with Mike Vick at quarterback. So, going against a tough Cardinals secondary, I don't think he's a great play here. But look for Ben to be back maybe next week. And look for Antonio Brown to get rolling again soon. But not this week. Emmanuel Sanders, I think Demaryius Thomas is hurt. Whether he plays or not, I think it'll be more of a decoy if he plays. So Emmanuel Sanders, I like that. He's a big play this week. Also, Joe Hayden's hurt. So don't really know who Emmanuel Sanders would be covered by. So Emmanuel Sanders, big play this week. Jason Kelsey, I like his matchup against Minnesota. Look for him to have a solid game. Chris Ivory gets complimented by Brandon Marshall saying he's the best running back in the NFL. I don't see that. I see him as a quality running back, but average at best. Going against a tough Washington run D, it won't be an easy week for him here. Chris Johnson, don't know if I like that play. Andre Ellington back in the mix. They have a committee of running backs. I think Chris Johnson's going to slowly start to decline here, so we'll see what he can do for one more week, but I don't like him anymore. With that said, I think Jordan's still got plenty of talent on the board, and Jordan wins this one. 153 to Walt's 139. Next game, Marola versus Conway. Marola 4-1, tied for first with myself. Conway 3-2, right there in the mix. For Marola, I think Aaron Rodgers will be a big play this week against San Diego. Can never go wrong. I think Randall Cobb and some of the other younger wide receivers are mixing well. Aaron Rodgers is a great play this week. Le'Veon Bell, look for him to be a great wide receiver this week. Don't know what he can do in the run game. Cardinals D is tough, but I think Le'Veon Bell catching passes could still be a very, very solid play this week. Don't know what he'll do with the rushing game, though. Brandon Marshall versus Washington, I think, is a big play. He'll be good this week. Randall Cobb, like I already said, will be a great play with Aaron Rodgers, so look for them to match up well together. Jeremy Maclin, I like him against Minnesota this week. I think those will all blend well. For Conway, I think Arian Foster has a good matchup against the Jaguars. I think he'll be a solid play this week. Larry Fitzgerald, I like him to beat up on that Steelers secondary. The Gronk, you gotta love the Gronk. He's gonna have probably a monstrous game against the Colts, is what I feel. I think Gronk is a big, big play this week. I think that Prince of Mukamara, or however you pronounce it, is hurt. I don't know if he'll be able to go this week, and if he cannot, look for the Eagles to play well. I think even if he plays, all the Eagles are solid plays this week. I like them at home Monday night. I think Chip does big things with everybody. So Jordan Matthews and DeMarco Murray, look for them to both get going with big games this week. I think Carlos Hyde is not going to play this week, so watch out for that. Maybe put Alan Hearns in or Danny Woodhead, just as a little bit of advice. And I think those are both solid plays. I look at this one, and it is a nail-biter. I think it's a high-scoring game. I'm going to give Johnny Conway the edge here and say John Conway wins this one 171 to Marola's 165. Alright, next up. Me versus Jay. Jay 3-2. Myself tied for first at 4-1. Jay coming back with Andrew Luck this week. I don't know what his health situation is. I'm sure they're going to try to play him because they can't wait any longer. Going against a pretty solid Patriots defense. I think he'll be like average. I don't think he'll have a huge game. He's been struggling this year when he has played. So I don't expect him to do anything crazy. But I think he'll be an okay play here. Demaryius Thomas. Again, I said this earlier. Neck injury. Hasn't practiced much. If he does play, look for him to be more of a decoy versus them actually utilizing him. Don't like him this week. I think Antonio Gates is a big play against Green Bay. I like Julian Edelman against the Colts. And I like Eric Decker versus Washington. All three are solid plays for Jay. For myself, been worried about Julio Jones all week. He's my star. You got to be concerned. They talked about a pitch count, then they said don't worry about it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm going to play him. I don't know what he's going to do for me, so it's just a wait and see. Brandon Cooks, big game last week. Hoping that gets the ball rolling here. Like I said, Falcons D is not that great, so he could be in for a good day here. I'm rolling with him for a solid play. Matt Ryan, I think, Bradford's already had a big game against the Saints. Carson Palmer had a big game against the Saints. Look for Matt Ryan to continue that trend and have a big game with the Falcons versus Saints. Dion Lewis, I look for him to be another big pass-catching running back presence against the Colts. Matt Forte against the Lions. Division battle, I think he'll play hard and be a solid play. This is a good game. Both sides, good players. I think I have a little bit of the better balance with a little bit less question marks to, my health as to my players and what they're capable of. I think they're going to match some of the expectations. So I want to give myself the win here, 147 to Jay's 133. Bill wins it 147 to Jay's 133. Now, we go to Chuck versus the Champs. Chuck's 3-2, the Champs are 3-2. Both are looking to stay in that battle for first place. On Chuck's side, you got Odell Beckham. Hamstring question mark. I think he's going to be alright. I don't think he'll be 100%, but I think he'll still be a great play against a questionable Eagles secondary. So, roll with that one. Two running backs on Denver. I don't think that their offense has shown anything great that you should be starting two running backs for Denver. So, maybe one. I don't know about both being okay plays there. I think Hillman's probably the better of the two for a play. For Phillip Rivers, I think he'll have good numbers fantasy-wise, but I look for him to have at least 2 interceptions in this game. I'll match that with 2 passing touchdowns, and he'll probably get close to 300 yards, making him a solid play, safe play at quarterback. Keenan Allen, I think he'll have a good matchup because that's the go-to guy for Phillip Rivers, so look for him to be a solid play. I think Dante Moncrief could be a good play here against the Patriots defense. Andrew Luck's got to throw to somebody, and I look for Moncrief to be the guy this week. Jimmy Graham has struggled this year, but look for him to have probably his best game of the season going against Carolina. He's used to the Carolina defense. I think he knows how to pick them apart. If he can get in the ears of the offensive guys on Seattle, look for him to have his best game of the season. On the champ side of the ball, Bradford, if there's no Prince, I think Bradford rolls again with another big game. Freeman on the Falcons, he keeps going with big numbers. I don't really see it, but you can't go wrong this week against the Saints, so he's a solid play. Calvin Johnson against Chicago, big play this week. Go with Megatron, you can't go wrong. I like Tyler Eifert this week against the Bills. I think he's another solid play. I like Willie Snead. He's been coming along bit by bit, so look for him to be a great play this week. I think DeAndre Hopkins, quarterback is a question mark, but he should be a solid play. I don't see anything wrong there. The Jags haven't stopped many elite wide receivers, and he's an elite guy. You got to get Beasley out of your lineup, but you got Adrian Peterson on your bench, so roll with that, man. AP all day. Again, I think balance is the key here, and I think the champs have slightly better balance than Chuck's team. So the champs, John Michael and Mike Mullen, win this one 148 to Chuck's 134. 148 champs, 134 for Chuck. And we'll be right back with the game of the week.
Make up your mind.
Yeah, man, yeah. I remember that day. I thought I had a good draft. I was pretty sure I was sober. I had drank the night before, celebrating the end of summer. But, I thought that I drafted a good team, and I don't know how I got to be to this point. 0-5? 0-5. I drafted way better than that, I'm pretty sure. But, I remember that day. Sure, I woke up a little sore. I didn't think I was hungover, but I was pretty sure I knew what I was doing there. I think. What? What do you mean I'm late for the draft? No. Alright, we'll get to the draft. I'll be right there. I'm gonna win this league anyway. So here we are, game of the week. You may ask yourself, why is this the game of the week? A team 0-5, a team 1-4. Well, sometimes the game of the week is the best dogfight out there. And what better dogfight than two teams that are battling, doing everything they can to try to keep in the race. They need wins. Much more than the teams that are 4-1 and 3-2. So that's why this game of the week. Hope you liked the little montage. Here we are, Blair 0-5, battled Marola, one of the best teams in the league, to the last 2 minutes of the Monday night game, but couldn't hold on. So he's still searching for his first win. And then you got DF 1-4. His team has struggled. He's trying to put it together. We'll see if he's headed in the right direction. So, my breakdown of this game. Blair's team. He's finally going to play Andy Dalton. The best quarterback he's got all season. He's been dominant. He's going to give him the run. Smart move, Blair. He's going against a tough Buffalo defense. Has already shut down Andrew Luck. Has already shut down many quarterbacks. But they're susceptible. They're susceptible. So Andy Dalton with the right, attack should do well here. Solid play, Andy Dalton. Eddie Lacy, you've kept the faith. I've talked about it in previous weeks, keeping the faith. You're keeping the faith. I like it. Eddie Lacy starts to get back into that top 5 running back form. Watch it in this one. Le'Veon Bell had a good game last week against the Chargers, so look for Eddie Lacy to do the same here in this one. Martellus Bennett, solid play versus the Lions. I think he'll be a great play this week. T.Y. Hilton against the Patriots, I'm not sure what he's capable of, but, Andrew Luck's going to be throwing those deep balls, and T.Y.'s going to be going after him. So let's see if he can't catch 1 or 2 of them for Blair. Julius Thomas, I think it's key, as long as Bortles is healthy and plays, which I believe he will, then Julius Thomas will have a great week. If he ends up with Henny, then you're starting to be question marks. But I believe Bortles is going to play, so Julius Thomas is a solid play this week for Blair. I think Ryan Matthews is not going to be a great play this week. I think it's going to be more of a DeMarco Murray. That might sound crazy, but I believe that's what's going to happen there. So Ryan Matthews, you may want to try to get out of your lineup. On DF side of the ball, let me talk about DF from, player 1 at quarterback to the defense. I want to go through his roster for you. Peyton Manning, one of the best quarterbacks all time, has started to show his age and not play well. But you can't go wrong with Peyton. So I think he's an okay play this week. Joseph Forsett, I believe, will not play this week. He hasn't practiced. He's hurt. So you may want to look to get him out of your lineup. Charkandrick West. You may say, who? He's the replacement for Jamal Charles. No one knows what he's really capable of with a full game. So I can't predict that one either. John Brown, a hamstring injury. He should play, but he's hurt. So watch out there because he's a vertical guy, and that could hurt him if he can't really push off on that leg. Pierre Garçon could be stuck on Revis Island, so I don't really like him this week. I think Larry Donnell is a great play against the Eagles. The Eagles struggle against tight ends, so that's a solid play for DF this week. Jeremy Hill, obviously a top 2 round pick, has not played to his potential. I don't think the ball's going to get rolling in the right direction against Buffalo, so we'll see what he can do, but I don't think it's going to be much in this one. And is Marshawn Lynch healthy? We'll see. Lots of question marks here. I like the Bills D for you, DF. Matt Bryant going in a Thursday night game here against against New Orleans. Should be fine. But you got a lot of question marks on health. I've talked about in the previous couple of matchups today. Balance. I think Blair's got the better balance here. So I'm going to give Blair's first win of the season. Blair wins 134 to DF's 122. Congratulations, Blair. I feel like I could guarantee this. I guarantee you get win 1 on the season this week. You heard it here first. That's going to do it for Week 6 analysis. Love you guys. Good luck. And I will see you next week.